One Zambia, One Nation. Good evening. Welcome to the news on ZNBC TV. My name is Luphana, and on sign language tonight is Loveness Chopper. Our top stories in the news this hour. President Edgar Lungu says Zambia stands ready to participate in all initiatives aimed at supporting peace. Vice President Inongewina says drought and floods experienced during the 2018-2019 farming season must serve as a valuable lesson to farmers to be innovative. The ZNBC board has appointed Malolela Lusambo as the new Director General. And coming up in sports news, football analyst Ruben Kamanga has praised Zambian Red Bull Salzburg, Patson Daka and Enoch Mwepu for their display in last evening's UEFA Champions League 4-1 victory over Belgium club Genk. Now, details in our news this hour. President Edgar Lungu says Zambia stands ready to participate in all initiatives aimed at supporting peace. President Lungu says Zambia will continue to cooperate with its neighboring countries and those beyond in a bid to promote peace and unity. The head of state was speaking today during the combined graduation ceremony of the 22nd Command and Staff Course and the 49th University of Zambia Defense and Security Studies Program. Meanwhile, President Lungu has described his two-day working visit to the United Arab Emirates, UAE, as a success. While in the UAE, President Lungu submitted 4 priority infrastructure development projects to the Abu Dhabi Fund for financing consideration. Zanis gives us a roundup of the president's visit to the United Arab Emirates.
President Edgar Lungu, during his 2-day working visit to the United Arab Emirates, paid a courtesy call on His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum at his palace. The two heads of state discussed on ways of strengthening relations between the two countries. The head of state further visited the Dubai Chamber of Commerce, where he urged the business community to collaborate with the Zambian business community and invest in renewable energy and agriculture.
But now when you go solar, the innovations and technologies have been proven here that you can depend on solar and make money. You know, we are connected to the region, connect Zambia into Tanzania, from Tanzania into Kenya, now we're getting into Addis Ababa. The South also, lately we've had the challenge in power generation. We are not shedding, otherwise the region doesn't have enough power. But because of good neighborliness, we are paying ESCOM in South Africa to give us some power. And not only solar, but other renewable energies.
He later met with His Highness Prince Sheikh Juma bin Ahmed bin Juma Al Maktoum with a promise to further cement relations between Zambia and the UAE. The president has described his visit to the UAE as a success.
I think I've met what I can describe as those who matter in the United Arab Emirates in terms of commerce, trade and industry, and indeed investments. So going by what we have discussed with them, I think we are going to benefit greatly from this trip, in the sense that they seem to be willing partners. people you can discuss with in terms of how you can structure cooperation. And I think this we have achieved in the short time that I've been here.
Faith Mtale, ZNBC News, Dubai.
Now, Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo is impressed with the progress made in the construction of the National Centre for Public Security and Safety building. Speaking when he toured the building in Lusaka, Mr. Kampyongo said government's desire is to ensure all public places and roads are installed with security features. Lucky Piri reports.
More of these security features are anticipated once this structure is complete. This is the National Centre for Public Security and Safety, which will be the heart of all security cameras installations. Security wings under the Ministry of Home Affairs will be housed in this building, which will be installed with all the technology. ZTE company is working with China Jiangxi on this project. Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo has toured the infrastructure. But before the tour, a briefing on the progress of the works by Project Manager Edward Chiteta.
The whole building has 10 floors, so our target is that by the 31st of December we should be able to, if we can attain the 10th floor in terms of the top floor. But we've seen that probably it will attain to the first week of January. But in terms of schedule, we are on schedule.
And in terms of the general completion, it is scheduled to be completed and handover on the 5th of July. And we are very confident that we are going to be on time.
Shortly after this, the minister takes a tour of the building and he is impressed with the works.
Crime trends are changing, and we have to make sure that we are ahead in terms of how we manage the security of the nation. So you have read, I'm sure, the critical information of how this command center is going to operate, housing our main security wings of the ministry to ensure that they are able to have real-time information of what is obtaining across the country.
The over $200 million project will include the construction of other command centers in Lusaka, Kitwe, Ndola and Livingstone. Lucky Piri, ZNBC News, Lusaka.
Now, Vice President Inongewina says drought and floods experienced during the 2018-2019 farming season must serve as a valuable lesson to farmers to be innovative. The Vice President says it is important for farmers to diversify food crops to enable households have enough nutritious food for consumption. Mrs. Wina has further advised households to invest in value addition through food processing as a way to achieve food security. She says value addition will also create jobs and wealth in the value chain. And Mrs. Wina has called on farmers to take advantage of the rain season to adequately prepare and seek professional advice from experts on the types and varieties of food crops to plant. This is according to a statement issued to ZNBC News by Permanent Secretary Administration in the Office of the Vice President, Stephen Mwanza. Now, Agriculture Minister Michael Katambo says government has put in place a mechanism to ensure agro-dealers are paid promptly during the 2019 and 2020 farming season. Mr. Katambo says currently government owes agro-dealers over 374 million kwacha following the dismantling of debt of over 1.2 billion kwacha. The minister was speaking when he presented a ministerial statement to Parliament today. Mr. Katambo has clarified that farmers are not supposed to pay extra money apart from the 400 kwacha contribution. He was responding to Chiengi Member of Parliament, Given Katuta, who said farmers in the area are being asked to pay a 50 kwacha to access inputs.
In 2019 alone, we've paid over 800 million, or over 68% towards what is owed to agro-dealers. As a Ministry of Agriculture, we've continued to engage with the Ministry of Finance on the release of funds owed to agro-dealers. Going forward, to reduce accumulation of arrears to agro-dealers, the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Finance have put in place a mechanism to ensure that agro-dealers are paid promptly during the 2019-2020 season. This mechanism includes retention of the 400 kwacha contribution from the farmers to pay the agro-dealer invoices. From the farmer contributions, we've so far raised an estimated 365.3 million, and we've already made payments amounting to approximately 123 million for the 2019-2020 season.
Lusaka Province Minister Boman Lusambo has called on farming cooperatives in Chongwe district to revive the solar milling plants. Mr. Lusambo says it is unfortunate that most cooperatives are not using solar milling plants that were installed in various parts of the country for the intended purposes. He said this when he held a meeting with cooperatives in Chongwe. Cecilia Ziambo reports.
Lusaka Province Minister Boman Lusambo has held a meeting with cooperative millers at the Zambia Cooperative Federation, ZCF, in Chongwe district. Mr. Lusambo is not happy with the performance of solar milling plants in the province.
Don't hide that some of them they are working, some of them is a bottleneck, so there is a problem.
Because speed is speed.
Yes, there is a problem, and we need to sort out this problem. Because this is a loan. It will come back to us as government to pay this loan. But why we're paying the loan for what? For our armor mills to be decorations in our districts? No.
Derek Sokoni is ZCF Director of Project and has made this assurance to the minister.
Have ensured that all the problems that we have identified are taken care of. And I've been getting so much support from the DCs who have also got very good ideas on how best we can sort out some of those cooperatives who are having challenges with the acquiring feedstock.
Mr. Lusambo later toured a milling plant under construction in Chongwe district and expressed happiness that once completed, the plant will go a long way in stabilizing milling mill prices in the country.
For those people who have been praying for the milling mill to go up, they're just wasting their time, because the government, we are doing everything possible to make sure that then the prices of milling mill it's reduced, and that is the President Edgar Lungu's wish.
And the contractor, China Machinery Industry Construction, disclosed that the milling plant will be completed by September next year.
Now we are doing a consult with the University of Zambia, yes. And for those two.
The Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation Board has appointed Malolela Lusambo as the new Director General effective December 1, 2019. ZNBC Board Chairperson Mulenga Kapwepwe says the board settled for Mr. Lusambo because of his vast experience in the media industry. Ms. Kapwepwe says the board is confident that Mr. Lusambo will deliver on the expectations of the board and Zambians, having served in the media industry for 28 years. She has thanked ZNBC Legal Director Ruben Kajokoto, who acted as Director General from the time the position was left vacant. And Mr. Lusambo, who has thanked the board for giving him the opportunity to serve as Director General, says the new position will require teamwork from all departments of the institution to enable him live up to the mandate and the vision of the corporation. Mr. Lusambo was ZNBC Director Engineering and Technical Services.
Board and directors wish to announce to the general public and all stakeholders that following the selection process and the wide consultations that was carried out in the last 2 months, the Board of Directors that sat today, Thursday 28th November 2019, has appointed Mr. Malolela Lusambo as the Director General for Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation with effect from 1st December on a 3-year contract. As a board, we are satisfied that Mr. Lusambo will deliver to the expectations of the board and the public, because he's fully aware of the vision of the board and what the board want to achieve for the corporation in the near future, which is financial stability and to be a broadcaster of first choice.
Now back to our earlier story where President Lungu says Zambia stands ready to participate in all initiatives aimed at supporting peace. President Lungu says Zambia will continue to cooperate with its neighboring countries and those beyond in a bid to promote peace and unity. The head of state was speaking today during the combined graduation ceremony of the 22nd Command and Staff course and the 49th University of Zambia Defense and Security Studies program. Mark Ziligone gives us the details.
Of their labor. The men and women in uniform have graduated in military studies at the Staff College and the University of Zambia Defense and Security Studies. President Edgar Lungu, who is also Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, graced the graduation ceremony.
Peace comes at a great cost, and I want to assure you that my government will continue to support such initiatives within our limited resources. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to reiterate that Zambia is committed to respecting the principles of non-interference in the internal affairs of other countries.
President Lungu took advantage of the event to talk about the adverse effects of climate change.
We need sustainable solutions to address this phenomenon. Therefore, the challenge I wish to throw to you, graduating officers, is that you need to rise to the occasion by coming up with innovative measures aimed at providing technologically smart solutions for us to address the climate change challenges which continue to confront us.
The Defense Services Command and Staff College Commandant appealed for the construction of a new Staff College by government.
Your Excellency, we are hopeful that the government, through the Ministry of Defense, will source for funds to construct a new Staff College that will have appropriate infrastructure and adequate facilities, as the campus where we are currently is just a makeshift.
Zambia Army's Major Kuzike Penyani scooped 4 awards, one of them being the best overall student.
I'm encouraging my fellow females, both in the military and in the civilian sector, to compete fairly in this world as we fight for gender equality. The sky is not even the limit. We can do it. Actually, whatever men can do, we can do much better.
President Lungu later graced the 49th University of Zambia Defense and Security Studies program graduation. The combined graduation included officers from Malawi, South Africa, Rwanda, Zimbabwe and Kenya. Mark Ziligone, ZNBC News, Lusaka.
This is the ZNBC TV main news at 19 hours. We take our first break. We have more news when we return. Stay with us. We continue with the news. The Lusaka Magistrates Court has found NDC leader Chishimba Kambwili with a case to answer. This isn't a matter where Mr. Kambwili is facing 3 counts of forgery, uttering and giving false information to a public officer. It is alleged that with intent to defraud or deceive, Mr. Kambwili allegedly forged a no-change return, which is a company's Form 71, purporting to show that it was genuinely signed by his son, Mwamba, when in fact not. It is further alleged that Kambwili knowingly and fraudulently uttered the same document to an officer at Patents and Company Registration Agency, PACRA. When the case came up, Lusaka Magistrate David Simusamba placed the accused on his defense. Magistrate Simusamba said evidence adduced by the state is sufficient to place Mr. Kambwili on his defense. He said the decision was arrived at after considering submissions made by the defense and the prosecution. Magistrate Simusamba has since set December 4th this year as a date for defense. Now, 180 UPND members have defected to the ruling party in Luphana district on the Copperbelt Province. Zanis reports.
For national development, UPND has continued losing its members in Luphana district following another bunch of 180 members who have defected to the ruling party. the defectors who were received by PF senior party officials at Kazungu Community School cited various reasons for leaving UPND.
Nebo nshayishibire po ifinari kokita lelo lunafika murikiki nwekifulo nabo nane mwatikansha abakwasu shayishibire lelo napuluka fertilizer ndapokea lukoso nekwikutandalia neba nabonse barapokera fwense fwetwigere pano kuno kwashimukuna.
PF Copperbelt Provincial Chairperson has urged old members to give more support to the new members.
Mwachita ichintu ichisuma pantu inoko na fumalanda tuwe umpako isangu peko lelo bakateko mfundo balepera bonse neko tabapitira ichocho tulefu ana ifolo mwa joina mu PF mwentungulushi mwe balipo pereni abantu ifya kuchita
abantu abayisa wangu tulabika mass structures okupange chintu nokulenga tufitwese fienda bino ndatwabaleke na fye chimo chitwapokelera.
Meanwhile, UPND district leadership has given a different view on this development.
Those reports about our defections from our party to PF, we can't substantiate on them. UPND in Luphana, we are very much intact. We are very intact. All our structures are intact, starting from the wards, the constituency, and the district.
Reporting, I'm Agrippa Silumbwe.
Two chiefs in Monze district have pledged to support President Edgar Lungu in his countrywide development agenda. Chief Jonah of Monze East says there is need to commend President Lungu for the development he has undertaken not only to his chiefdom but across the country. The traditional leader said this when PF member of the Central Committee, Kebi Mbewe, paid a courtesy call on him and his counterpart, Chief Mwanza. And Chief Mwanza asked President Lungu to bring Monze Boma closer to the people. Meanwhile, Mr. Mbewe assured the two traditional leaders that he will deliver their message to President Lungu.
We have made as three chiefs to come and request if His Excellency the President can grant us a district. And this is so because of the geographical position that we've been put in.
For this, I want to say thank you very much for this commitment that you are showing, not only to the people of Monze East, also to the Zambian people, that you have come so unique to fight for something that is going to bring development into your areas. That I will do, so that I will give you a feedback to say I've delivered this message to the president. So soon I think the president will decide what he will decide to do, which personally I have no mandate to say what he would say. But I can assure you that you have not spoken, you are speaking to the right person who you got into the bedroom and speak on your behalf. You are our fathers, you are our parents, you are our traditional leaders, and ourselves, we are nothing if we are not speaking for you.
Housing and Infrastructure Development Minister Vincent Mwale says there is need for the country to formulate policies that will regulate urbanization to avoid unplanned settlements. Mr. Mwale notes that most problems facing Zambia are due to urbanization. He was speaking in Chilanga during the handover ceremony of a house by Lafarge Zambia Cement coming from the recently Winner House competition. And Lafarge Zambia Chief Executive Officer Jimmy Khan thanked government for providing a conducive environment for the private sector to operate and thrive. Meanwhile, Managing Director for Home Loans, Twambo Hamusute, said his company is ready to partner with government in providing mortgages to workers so that they can own homes.
Government stands ready to work with private sector and entities such as Lafarge and financial institutions as well as other stakeholders, including our cooperating partners, to arrive at the most effective ways of constructing affordable housing units for our people. This is why as government we are slowly moving away from public-private partnerships, which were used to PPPs, to public-private people partnership in this case.
As I said, it really is our dream that every Zambian gets to be a homeowner. And it's part of our core, it's part of our DNA, and of course it's part of our business. So the story I shared about all the employees that have been homeowners, now adding Michaela to that list, it really is a special day for us, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you.
Providing is a fantastic opportunity for individuals to own a house. We know most Zambians, it takes many, many years for you to finish a house. This product essentially allows you to finish a house 4 to 6 months. To do this, to do what we are doing, financing individuals, providing the business with long-term finance, we obviously need strong partners. And we have partnered with a number of companies.
Most of the works have been done to repair Luphana Bridge on the Great North Road in Mpika Province. The bridge was washed away last December by heavy rains, briefly curtailing movements on the road before a temporary structure was made. Here's a report.
It has reached an advanced stage. This is 9 months after the old bridge was washed away, cutting off the Great North Road at Luphana Stream, 25 kilometers from Mpika town up north. The new bridge has come with a new concrete design to make it stronger and climate resilient. Gaston Meleki is Road Development Agency Aradia Regional Manager, and he says the works are within schedule.
After the washout, we came up with this design. It's a box culvert, 3x1, and the hydraulic capacity is so huge that we don't see if there are flash floods here overtopping on this structure.
The Communications and Corporate Affairs Director Masujan Lovu, who has checked on the progress, is confident that the bridge will stand the test of time.
We are impressed with the works so far, and I should say in terms of physical progress, we are at 80%, and there are just a few things that we are still working on, which the engineer is going to explain further. Quite a lot has been done in terms of the foundation has been done. We are hoping that by end of December, this place we should be done so that it's now open for traffic.
With the devised measures such as the increased hydraulic capacity, the bridge is expected to withstand flash floods pressure, and overtopping is not expected. Ephraim Chiluba, ZNBC News, Mpika, Mchinga Province.
This is the ZNBC TV News with me, Chilufya Mwelwa. We take another break, and when we come back, we have education news. Stay with us. Now, details in our education news. The National Union for Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, has called on teachers who might have been mistakenly removed from the payroll to remain calm. The union says this is because government is still verifying the payroll following a cleanup exercise. NUPEZ General Secretary Nelson Mwale says the union is in constant touch with the Public Service Management Division, PSMD, to ensure all irregularities are resolved.
Whoever was omitted during the payroll cleanup exercise which was going on will be paid with immediate effect. And once more, we are appealing to these civil servants to remain calm, because government is doing everything possible to ensure that their salaries are given this very month. We realize that the cleanup exercise is a very, very important exercise, because we cannot afford having government losing colossal sums of money out of details that are not very, very clear about our civil servants.
Now, the Road Transport and Safety Agency, RATSA Acting Director Gladwell Banda, is concerned with the increasing number of underage drivers. Mr. Banda was speaking during the road safety book donation by Vivo Energy at North Mid Primary School in Lusaka. He said the agency has collaborated with the Ministry of General Education through the Curriculum Development Center to incorporate road safety education in schools. Mr. Banda said this in a speech read on his behalf by Principal Education and Publicity Officer Linda Muwogo, and Vivo Energy Managing Director for Zambia, Jean-Blaise Olomo, urged people and motorists to be vigilant. Speaking at the same event, Lusaka Provincial Education Officer Christopher Sinkamba said empowering young minds with road safety literature will enable the children to protect themselves against road traffic risks. And North Mid Primary School head teacher Sarah Chibesakunda thanked Vivo Energy for the gesture.
Of intent in the protection of the future by investing in the protection of children from traffic-related risks. It is a demonstration that the company is not only interested in the promotion of the welfare of children, but also their future and ultimately the future of this country through the current generation. As government, we do not only welcome this gesture, but also believe that in Vivo Energy Zambia, we have a partner who means well for the development of this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the core functions of the Road Transport and Safety Agency is to conduct road safety campaigns through education and publicity, which includes children's road safety. The agency has come up with various interventions to reduce the number of road fatalities and injuries in relation to road safety.
It's a great honor for Vivo Energy Zambia to continuously engage and invest in the communities where we operate in the same way the public extends to us. As Vivo Energy, we realize that education is key.
It is gratifying to note that Indian Petroleum Zambia Limited has brought it wise to invest in the enhancement of knowledge in our learners by donating soft textbooks. Knowledge is power, and so with this knowledge, our learners will be able to be careful on the road to avoid accidents.
Today, then, as children of North Mid Primary School, we are grateful to you for investing in the protection of us children from traffic-related risks. To the guest of honor, the Provincial Education Officer, Dr. Sinkamba. Sir, we are happy that you have come to our school to receive the textbooks on our behalf.
Well, that's our education news for tonight. Thank you for watching. As we end the news, ZNBC staffer Wesley Banda has died. Elder brother to the deceased, Yambani Banda, confirmed that Mr. Banda died in the early hours of today at the Cancer Diseases Hospital in Lusaka, where he was receiving treatment. Mr. Banda, who was speaking to ZNBC News in a telephone interview, added that details of the funeral will be communicated in due time. He said a funeral gathering is at the late Mr. Banda's residence in Twin Palm area. And ZNBC Corporate Affairs Manager Yvette Chanda said the corporation is saddened by the passing on of Mr. Banda. Mrs. Chanda said Mr. Banda will be remembered for his contribution to the institution. She said Mr. Banda was a team player who was committed to ensuring all assignments were carried out in line with the corporation's mandate. Mr. Banda died at the age of 49 and is survived by a wife and 3 children. Well, as we end the news, here's a reminder of the top stories this hour. President Edgar Lungu says Zambia stands ready to participate in all initiatives aimed at supporting peace. Vice President Inongewina says drought and floods experienced during the 2018-2019 farming season must serve as a valuable lesson to farmers to be innovative. That's it. That's the news. Remember, let's be proud and patriotic Zambians. We'll see you at 22. Bye-bye.
Banda.